If you didn't learn English as a young child, but use it now as an adult, your English may have some gaps or holes in it that you may not be aware of. And this may affect how people understand you. Sometimes it can make you a laughingstock behind your back, or worse, alienate you from your peers. Fortunately, there is a way for you to speak American English more clearly and confidently, and for you to better understand native English speakers. I want to show you some secrets of speaking English that very few people ever talk about. And I've put these secrets together in a program called the American Accent Audio Course. This downloadable audio program will increase your ability to speak American English more clearly and boost your confidence during professional and personal interactions. Having more confidence can open up more doors of opportunity, which in turn can lead you to a new level of success in your life. The American Accent Audio Course is not like all those other pronunciation courses out there. You know, like the ones that teach you how to pronounce individual sounds such as the th or You see, even if you have perfect pronunciation, your English may still not be easily understood because you're missing out on the natural flow of the language. The American Accent Audio Course is very unique. It teaches you about accent, or the music of the language, the intonation, the rhythm and timing, and the flow. It shows you how to come across as sounding smooth and how to use your voice to get different emotions from your listeners. In fact, I'm going to show you a step-by-step series of little things that are going to make a huge difference in the way that you speak English. Inside the American Accent Audio Course, you're going to learn what an accent is all about. And then I'm going to give you the big picture of the American accent and talk about what's going to come up in the course. And then we're going to move on and break English down into little pieces. I'm going to introduce you to the smallest sound in English that's going to make the biggest difference in the way that you sound, the schwa. If you don't know about the schwa, you really need to know about it, because this is the key to speaking with an American accent. I'm also going to teach you about all of the different sounds of the American T. Why do people say water instead of water? Well, I'll teach you about this in this lesson. And then we'll move on to word intonation patterns. Did you know that English has specific intonation patterns? Not even native English speakers know what they are. They just grow up feeling it. But I'm going to teach you what they are so you can start feeling these patterns too, and you won't have doubts about how to pronounce certain words. And then I'm going to talk to you about some unusual word intonation patterns, things that don't follow the normal patterns. After that, we'll be talking about descriptive phrases and compound nouns. For example, do you know the difference between a high chair and a high chair? Well, let me tell you, they're totally different. I'll tell you more about that in these lessons. And then we'll move on to talking about how we link words together. If you don't connect your words together when you speak, and this is very common for people who've learned to read English before they've learned to speak English, then you're going to be sounding choppy in English. Learning how to link words together will help you sound more smooth. After that, I'll be teaching you about what you should stress, and even more importantly, what you shouldn't stress. This is going to start making your English really sound like a native English speaker. Because let me tell you a secret. Knowing where to understress is actually a bigger key than knowing what to stress. And then we'll be talking about the rhythm and the timing. Every language has its own rhythm, its own beat, kind of like its own music, kind of like the difference between classical music, pop music, and jazz. They're all music, but they have different beats, and every language has its own beat too. If you want to speak with an American accent, you need to understand what the American beat is, the American rhythm. And now as we start getting more advanced, we'll talk about how we can change things around to get different feelings from people. And then I'll be talking to you about how we ask questions and what happens with the intonation in questions. Now, you might think you already know about how to ask questions in English, but I can almost promise you that there will be a few things that you didn't know about that will surprise you. Next, we'll delve into some more complex kinds of sentences. So we're no longer talking about the little tiny things, but entire sentences and phrases to make sure that you're really speaking well in conversation. And finally, we'll be going over the emotion and the mood of English, and we'll finish with a nice review of the entire course, so you won't have any doubts about what you need to be doing to speak English like an American. I promise you that when you finish this program, you'll wonder why nobody has ever taught you these things before. Not many teachers know about this part of English because a lot of accent is very subconscious, but once it's brought to your attention, you'll start noticing it everywhere. And then you can put it to use in your daily life. Also, you won't have to go to a class or sit in front of a computer to get the skills you need, because the American Accent audio course is like having your own trainer available whenever and wherever you're ready to learn. And because these lessons come in an MP3 format, you can download them immediately, right now, and listen to them at home, on the way to work or school, at the gym, or wherever you like. And unlike in a traditional class, you have the option of reviewing the lessons as many times as you would like. The course also comes with a 104-page American Accent workbook and an awareness journal to help you keep track of your progress. And these are both in PDF format, so you'll get them immediately too. The American Accent audio course has been used by thousands of adults in hundreds of professions around the world to help them improve the way they speak and understand American English. And now, I want to offer this same opportunity to you and others who would like to learn how to speak and understand American English with more confidence. So you may be wondering how much a course like this would cost. Well, before I reveal the price, let me just say that this is the same kind of material you would learn in my $1,500 one-on-one private coaching classes. But fortunately, you won't have to pay anything near $1,500. The price of the American Accent audio course is just $37. That's right, just $37. So just click on the large Add to Cart button directly below this video, and you'll gain instant access to secrets of American English that very few people know about. Plus, you'll also get my 60-day guarantee. Because I want you to try this program at no risk to you, I'm going to let you take a 60-day test drive. Just try the American Accent audio course out for 60 days, and if within that time you feel that it isn't right for you, just let me know, and I'll refund your payment. So all you have to do is click on the button below, and you'll be listening to life-changing training within minutes. No more having to repeat yourself. No more losing out on job opportunities. No more feeling left out of life. Start speaking English as it's really spoken with the American Accent audio course. So get your copy right now by clicking on the order button below, and I'll see you on the other side.